Begin by unpacking the board right side up. Remove the staples all the way around the cardboard container, taking care not to pry against or use tools in a way that may damage the board's finish. The mounting hardware is supplied attached to the underside of the diving board. Keep in mind the Duraflex diving board is 16 feet long and weighs 130 pounds. Mishandling or dropping the Duraflex diving board may result in personal injury and possible damage to the board itself. Installing the diving board requires at least 2 people capable of lifting and maneuvering the board into position. Having additional people on hand will make the installation process easier. Before maneuvering the diving board into position, slide the fulcrum roller into the full aft position away from the pool edge. As shown, the installation process takes place before the handrails have been installed. If the handrails are installed prior to diving board installation, adjustments and additional people may be necessary, but the basic process is the same. Lift the diving board from the approximate center and carry it forward until the front ends of the rubber channel rest on the fulcrum roller. With one person positioned at the rear of the diving board, operate the roller to line up the holes in the hinges with the mounting holes on the diving board. The foot wheel may be used to assist with the hole alignment. Once the holes are in alignment, insert one of the 3.5 by 5/8 inch board bolts and apply anti-seize to the threads. Place a 5/8 inch flat washer onto the bolt against the hinge. Next, install the 5/8 inch lock washer. While holding the washers in place, secure the nut. It should be finger tight. The second bolt is installed in the same manner. The bolts should then be tightened but not torqued. If they are just snug at this point, the board will move during the next steps. Once the diving board is in place, it is necessary to determine that it is parallel to the fulcrum tracks. First, check to see that the diving board is properly positioned over the roller. The roller clamps should align as shown, between the first and second diving board ribs on the foot wheel side, and the 7th and 8th ribs on the opposite side. Rotate the foot wheel through its entire length of travel while examining the distance from the end of the roller to the edge of the diving board. It should be the same throughout its entire range of travel. If the board is not perpendicular to the roller, adjustments may be made by loosening the board's bolts and shifting the diving board tip. Level the board lengthwise by placing the longest level available along the length of the board. Ensure the board is level in both forward and aft positions. Make minor corrections by adjusting or adding shims under the legs of the main support or ladder. If the board is significantly out of level, it may be necessary to adjust the anchor fitting on the ladder. Do so by removing the 6 3/8 by 1 inch attachment bolts and moving the anchor fitting to the desired position. On the 1 meter stand, diving board tip movement will be approximately 1 5/8 inches for each hole position the anchor fitting is moved. Raise the anchor fitting to lower the board tip. Conversely, lowering the anchor fitting position will raise the tip of the board. Continue to adjust the diving board until it is level by adding and removing shims under the main support or ladder. The preferred pitch or rise of the board for competition is 0, or level, when there is no load on the board. Next, with a person positioned on each side forward of the fulcrum roller, lift the diving board to chest height and drop it on the fulcrum roller. Alternately, you may have a diver jump on the board. Bounce the board in this manner several times to ensure the board doesn't drift off center of the roller. If it does, loosen the board bolts and readjust. Once the board is perpendicular to the roller, recheck the roller clamps to ensure they are positioned correctly between the ribs. If the roller clamps are not properly centered between the ribs, the hinge plate can be loosened and shifted in the necessary direction. Tighten the hinge plate bolts and recheck for correct centering. Finally, tighten the board bolts to 110 pounds of torque.